This is Randy Bell with the Courier podcast, the place to come for the latest Clinton news. The price tag for building streets, installing water and sewer lines, and putting up lights for Clinton's major economic development project between I-20 and Highway 80 is still expected to be over $25 million. But because at this point the 80-20 project has secured only $16 million in funds for that infrastructure work, some changes had to be made in the way things are being handled. The new arrangement calls for the contractor chosen to do the first phase of the infrastructure to work for the city of Clinton, instead of being hired by a company serving as the project's construction manager. The Board of Aldermen, at its April 2nd meeting, adopted a resolution ratifying the process that was used previously to award Joe McGee Construction Company a $4,676,982 contract. The board also approved a purchase sales agreement for some Mississippi College land to be used for streets in the 80-20 development. In a statement, MC's chief financial officer, Laura Jackson, said the college will sell the road beds to the city based on the average of 2 appraisals. The city will use project funds to purchase the portion of our property. We will then use the money from the sale of the property and reinvest it in the overall project. This protects us all from the appearance of using public money on private land. The work for the roads and the infrastructure will be done on property owned by the city. Hiring a contractor to begin the site work is a major step for the development. Much of the land was cleared back in 2022, but comments posted on social media have cited a lack of visible progress since then. Jackson points out there's been plenty of behind-the-scenes work, and the public will begin to notice construction activity at the site.
Lots and lots of dirt work to begin with is what people will see. It starts actually up on the hill at Spring Ridge, which is not college property, but it goes down the hill sort of parallel to Highway 80 and goes down into the college property, and you will see 3 entrances into Highway 80 created as part of that. So there'll be a new entrance off of Spring Ridge, a spine road that runs parallel basically to Highway 80, and then 3 entrances into Highway 80.
According to Jackson, the project has been moving forward over the past several months with design work and permitting.
You had to get a wetlands permitting from MDEQ. We had to get MDOT to do roadway permitting.
The entrances into Highway 80 will initially handle construction traffic, but their future design is unclear.
We don't know exactly what they will look like. Will they be roundabouts? Will they be red light? That's what we're working through with MDOT right now.
Efforts have been made to preserve historic Robinson Spring, which lies on that property.
That's been part of all the wetlands permitting and all that. So it is a complicating factor, but it's been a primary focal point. So if you see any design, conceptual design drawings, that spring and that water feature is clearly part of what the end product will be.
Around the time of Clinton's founding, the spring served travelers along the old Natchez Trace. Now it's set to become a centerpiece for the city's most anticipated mixed-use development, which still doesn't have an official name. Jackson emphasizes they've gone to great pains to save the spring.
Through the years, as you can imagine, with where its proximity on the property, there was a lot of residue that had flowed down into the spring. So we did some exploration work to sort of dig out the muck, for lack of a better term, that had collected at the bottom of the spring. And it sort of actually increased the water flow. The historic bricks around the top of the cistern have all been salvaged and will be used somehow in the new feature.
The initial infrastructure work is beginning as weather permits, with completion expected next January.
So about 9 months to finish Phase 1's work. And hopefully by that point, Phase 2 will be decided, and it'll just continue on at that point. It'll seem seamless to people at that point.
I'm Randy Bell.